There we go. Good evening. Welcome to another edition slash episode slash installment of Free Thinkers. I am your one and only host, Q. Everybody else done dipped out on me. I don't know where. Well, I know where Nikki at. Nikki, she taking some time. I don't know where Denise is. Denise been out of pocket lately. I don't know. She disappears on us from time to time because she be actually. I appreciate that she actually she takes mental uh vacations away from social media, which I feel like everybody should do. But yeah, we'll be back in a full effect soon enough. But I do like I'll get into that in a second. So first of all, let me just kind of go through the intros, and I'll be really quick. Free Thinkers, we are a discussion groups that talks about a wide array of topics, situations. Nothing is off limits for us. So just like you can see on the bottom, you're going to see me. You may or may not see any of my other co-hosts, but this is an open forum group. I have the link down below. So if you want to be a part of StreamYard, all you got to do is go to the link, go into StreamYard. It'll bring you backstage and I'll let you in. All we're going to do is just talk that talk today. We're not going to talk long, but we will talk that talk. Keep in mind, there is adult content and adult conversation and adult language. So be mindful of that. Also, if you get online, make sure you have something in your ears to where you can hear and the sound is not bleeding out too much. And then just this is a safe space. Just come with your thoughts. Come with your thoughts. Come with your opinions. The more authentic you are voicing your opinions, the faster you have potential to grow and evolve. That's what I've learned. So one of the things that I like doing, and like I just mentioned, Denise, one of our co-hosts, sometimes she'll take social media breaks. The reason I don't do that as much is because, in all honesty, I'm not really on social media that much. As much as you may see me on Free Thinkers and other, podcasts and platforms, outside of that, I'm just not really on that much. I wonder. Ooh, that would be a good conversation too. Just talking about social media usage, social media addiction. I'm gonna have to write that down. Um, Identifying factors if you have an addiction to social media. I feel like we've had that conversation in part at some point before. But I'm glad this is being recorded, so now we know how we can um ooh, okay, see, now I just start coming up with ideas. I don't know if we've had a conversation about fasting before. Also on Free Thinkers, we've been a discussion group for golly. Um Feels like we're going on 10 years now, and we run out of stuff to talk about. So anytime I think of a topic we may not have potentially talked about, or we didn't give it a full feature, I definitely get excited, like, oh, we could talk about that. So yeah, social media abuse, addiction, I like that one. And also fasting. I like that too. I don't know if we talked about that, but we got that on the list on the roster. But anyway, what I was saying is I'm really not on social media that much. Um, and with that, part of the reason I don't like that is because we have a Free Thinkers Facebook page. On our Free Thinkers Facebook page, there's so many interesting topics, and sometimes it'll be like the end of the week and I'll go and just try to catch up some on some of the topics that people are talking about. And I wish I was on more because there's some good stuff on there. So another thing, if you have not already joined our Facebook page and joined our YouTube page, make sure you do it. I'm telling you now, people tell you get in on the ground level. You need to get in now because I always hoped, always believed, but now I'm starting to see we're about to make some moves coming up soon. We're about to make some moves, and there's some movement that's going on with Free Thinker. So you definitely want to be a part of the community on this side versus you don't want to. It's gonna be cool if you get on later when everybody else start getting on, but it's gonna be special if you're one of those people who said, you know what, I was there from the beginning, before everybody knew who they was. Then I was a part of that community. You know what? I feel like that sometimes, and it's funny now because there's a comedian, the podcaster Kev on Stage. He's one of those people because now, see, I can mention Kev on Stage, and most people know who I'm talking about now. I've been rocking with and watching Kev on Stage even way back before most people knew him. He was only known in the Christian circles. I remember the first time I seen him, it wasn't just him solo. It was the Playmakers that he had. There was a group of people on there, and I used to watch his videos and content. So it's just something special when you were actually a part of a community from the ground level when it really started, not before the momentum and the bandwagon and everybody started to get on board. Like, no, I actually followed them way ahead of time. That's it's good with that. It's good with music. When you are up on a musician or some type of music before they got, that's like Tobe Nigwe. My wife, you love. I'm getting over sickness too, so if I cough in your ear, my apologies. But even Tobe, before he got big and all on all types of stages and awards, and I remember when he was small, my wife told me about him, and yeah, we went to see him. It was at HT, some type of HT gathering, and he was just right there. It was maybe 50 people watching him. You can just go up, talk to him. He was right there, like accessible, no security, no nothing, and you got to see that from a ground level. His wife was there too, even like she there now. But it's just something special when you get in on the ground level. So I'm encouraging all of you, get in on the ground level. So you could be like, yeah, no, I was there. And I was a part of the family, the community, and they know me like I know them. Because right now we are a family and we are a community. We know each other. And it's a beautiful thing. And also, what's also good? Because we have a lot of free thinkers who just interact on the Facebook page, but don't really interact. Maybe they're not getting on a podcast. Maybe they don't come in person, but some of them just interact mostly by posting on the page and interacting and leaving comments. And I like it. It's interesting to me when you know a person by their words and their comments before you actually meet the person. So there's sometimes you'll meet somebody in person. I've never met them before, never seen them, didn't even speak to them face to face. And then they'll say, hey, I'm Johnny Smith. And then I'm like, oh, Johnny from, and then I can recognize them from the Facebook Free Thinkers page. And I already have a gauge on their mind and their thoughts and their opinions based upon the interaction that we've had, even though I didn't directly know them. I couldn't identify their face, but now it's a different type of connection when you can meet someone through their words and their mind before you actually see their face, see their body, see their movement, see them socially. You get to, ooh, that's fresh. You get to see a person's mind before anything. That's fresh. We need to do free thinkers dating. I know the ladies love that. You get to see a lot of posts that I don't. And this is the other thing. Let me tell you this. A lot of times I see good stuff on the Free Thinkers page, but sometimes for me, it's too much for me to type it out. I want to have a conversation. I want to talk around it. I want to talk through it. So with that being said, I'm going to take the next 30 minutes. I ain't going to be out here long, maybe 30 minutes, maybe not that long, but knowing me, it probably will be. And we're going to get on the Free Thinkers thread, and I'm going to look at some of these things that I haven't seen and catch up on it and just give my opinion. And this is not anything new to me because whether I'm on live or podcast or I'm driving in my car, I routinely talk to myself and I practice talking to myself. I've come to a place once upon a time when somebody will see you talking to yourself. They're like, who are you talking to? And then you get kind of embarrassed because they caught you talking to yourself. I'm of the age now, if you don't talk to yourself, not just number one, if you don't talk to yourself, if you don't have conversations and debates with yourself, if you don't openly verbally check yourself, like you need to be in a full verbal conversation relationship with yourself. If you're not doing that, then something is wrong with you. You need to be you should be having consistent conversations with yourself. And I do that. So, whether we on live, whether we not, we'll see. All right. I got 30 minutes. Let's jump into it. And then also I did want to get on, even though my co-host ain't on here right now, but I wanted to play with some different toys. Like I said, as we're expanding, I want to keep learning. I want to keep growing and kind of understand the technology. I am getting older, but I do not want to get left behind on that. So as you see our beautiful Free Thinkers page, if your face ain't down here somewhere, then that means you need to join the page and make sure that you're a part of it. But let's see what we got. Ooh, hopefully it's big enough for y'all can see this. Ooh, okay. See, all right. I know right now, because I've seen the mature conversations about relationships. I've seen those threads before. I'm going to, you know what? All right. I'm going to give myself a time limit on this because I already know I can go the whole 30 minutes just on this by itself. All right. 31. I'm going to give myself at max 9 minutes to go over this. Otherwise, I'll spend all my time on this and I don't want to. So let me go. Okay. So it seems short. Maybe. Okay. It seems short. Maybe this won't be too long. Hopefully y'all can read this. Inbox. Second date tonight at a very reasonably priced restaurant that I picked in his neighborhood, parenthesis, about 30 minutes from me. He's 32. I'm 24. Who should pay? What do the age got to do? Who should pay? I know you ain't trying to say, and listen, 32 is not a sugar daddy age, okay? So he 32 and you 44. And from maturity standpoint, y'all almost the same age. A 32-year-old man and a 24-year-old woman is pretty close in maturity ages, in my opinion. Let me go and get to this. He's 32, I'm 24. Who should pay? That really throws me. I don't know what the age got to do. Who should pay? Who should pay split checks for the first date? I paid for dinner and he paid for mini golf. Okay. You kind of answered it. You paid for dinner. She paid for dinner. He paid for mini golf. That's fine. Okay, I have a couple rules and regulations. I know I've mentioned this before. First of all, on a first date. Oh, thank you. First of all, if we are establishing that this is a date, we establishing that this is a date, then at the very least, you go Dutch, meaning you both pay for your own stuff. Or more preferably, this is a date, not just a get together, not a hangout, let's go kick it. If this has been labeled as a date, I believe the man should pay first on the first date. If a woman is uncomfortable with that for whatever reason, sometimes they feel like if a man pays, then he feels like he's owed more. Then, and a woman says, you know what? No, I would like to go out on this date, but I'm gonna pay my own, or I will contribute, or I will split the bill. That's fine too. This is another rule. If the man is the one who proposes the date, saying, hey, miss, I would like to take you out on a date, he should absolutely pay. If it's your idea and it was your request to go out on this date, then you should absolutely be the one to pay for that first date. If she want to leave a tip, if she want to contribute, that's fine. But you should go in as and expecting to pay everything for that date, which you requested. You asked her out on a date. So you put your best foot forward. You come up with the money. Don't go. Go somewhere that's reasonably priced. But you shouldn't have to worry about what she's ordering and if she got one too many drinks or whatever the case is. You should be totally comfortable that whatever she wants to get on the menu, that she can get it. Now on the flip side, this ain't the flip side. These are things that you want to, because let me back up. Sometimes men be like, well, what if she order too much, or what if she getting outrageous, or what if she get the most expensive thing on the menu? Fellas, if this is someone you're interested in to the point that you want to take them out on a date, it's also good learning. Everything has learning lessons in it. And one of the learning lessons is if you get something that's in the middle of the menu, or far as middle price part of the menu, and they get the most expensive thing you can possibly get, that's kind of telling. That speaks to their level of consideration. That speaks to potential their level of why they accepted the date. Maybe they only accepted the date because they wanted to get a free meal out of you. Pay attention to the signs. You pay attention to the signs, then it lets you know, okay, having a nice time. She kind of using me for my pocketbook a little bit, or she may be testing me to see if I got it. Either way, there's a materialistic element in her that you may want to consider. And if you're not that type of person, then maybe that's telling to you. You may not want to be a part of that. And then ask, pay attention. Did she put in a tip? Did she offer to put in partial on it? Those are things you just pay attention to. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it could. But yeah, those are, if she frivolously spends money unnecessarily on a date, especially if you go into a mid-range, if you go into like a mid-range restaurant, why are you trying to get the most expensive thing at a mid-range restaurant? Because usually that don't even make sense. Like, for instance, like I went home, and I went home about a month ago, a little over a month ago, probably about 2 months ago. Me and my mom loved Cracker Barrel. We went to Cracker Barrel, had breakfast. For some reason, in my fool mind, I wasn't trying to stunt or nothing like that. Is I'm like, I want steak. Let me get some steak. Now, knowing the type of steak eater that I am, once I got the steak, then I had to ask myself, why did you get steak from Cracker Barrel? Why would you get steak from Denny's? Like, if you are a top tier steak eater, you shouldn't even be going to lower level restaurants and ordering top tier things, because it's not going to match up. And I was like, that wasn't the steak that I was like, why was I even thinking about that? That was not smart on my part. Same thing. If she goes to a restaurant, a mid-level restaurant, she ordering the most expensive thing, then it's like, you really don't know what you're doing. Because if you really like this, whatever, lobster, this and that, you don't get top tier stuff from a mid-level or a lower level restaurant, because it's not going to taste great in almost every scenario. So it's like, why even do that? They got that on there just to spread their menu, but you already know their signature meals is right in that middle range. That's what you should be getting, the stuff that they know how to make best, and not stuff that only gets ordered on occasion. Because now you just got a bunch of expensive stuff, and it's not even tasting that good. It wasn't even enjoy. It was about you trying to stunt. So that was weird. Let me see. Did I fully answer the question? Let me get back to this. Oh, okay. Hold on. Second date. Okay. Maybe I'm not reading this right. Second date tonight at a very reasonably priced restaurant that I picked in his neighborhood about 30 minutes from me. Okay. I wasn't reading this right the first time. Okay. I'm missing stuff. That's why my comprehension got to get better. This is the second date. Okay. Second date tonight at a very reasonably priced restaurant that I picked in his neighborhood about 30 minutes from me. Okay. So she's setting the stage, like she's going toward his neighborhood. It's 30 minutes. She got to take a drive. See, now the pieces are starting to come together a little bit. She got to take a little bit of a drive to get there. So that can play a role. This is the second date. About 30 minutes from me. He's 32, I'm 24. I still don't know what that got to do with anything. But she said, who should pay? Now, okay, now the factors are coming in. She is driving, she's taking a 30-minute drive. This is the second date. I still don't know. She picked the restaurant though. She picked it in his neighborhood. I don't know who requested the second date. Maybe it was a mutual thing. But she said, who should pay? Split checks. And then she says, for the first date, I paid for dinner. He paid for mini golf. So let's think about this. Is dinner and miniature golf, is that an equal trade-off? I don't know. I would think dinner would be a little bit more expensive than the miniature golf. I would hope, especially just based off of the first date, I would hope that's not a big thing. Like who should? I think it sounds like to me, and this sounds like I'm riding the fence. It should be more of a collaborative effort. Y'all kind of collaborated last time, like you pay for what you pay for, I pay for what I pay for. I don't think there is a should pay. I think split checks. I think y'all kind of set a precedent to where you guys collaborate with that. Now the question is, was that a problem for you that you had to, or that you paid the first time? Are you expecting him to pay the first time? And then I guess another question is, and then I'm out of time, so I'm about to jump off of this. What was I gonna say? So did you have a problem paying the first time? Like, did you take issue that did you feel like you had to pay the first time? I don't know. I'm out of time, so I'm gonna jump off of this. Let me see what else we got, because I do want to touch on some other stuff. And then this free thinkers, y'all. We got a wide array of different things. So we probably about to make a hard pivot right here. Nikki posted. Did you know that before it became the logo of the New Orleans Saints, the Fleur de Lis, I'm guessing, was used to brand runaway enslaved people as punishment upon capture? I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised. I'm thinking a little bit past this. I'm trying to figure out, like, what pops out to me is, at what point do we take weight in, or at what point do we disassociate with everything that had to do with slavery? So this the Fleur de Lis, it was used to brand runaway slaves to runaway enslaved people as punishment upon capture. My question is, was that the original purpose for it? Just because it was used for that, if it wasn't the original purpose that it was made for, do we just throw it away? Do we look at it as some type of racist emblem or logo of the New Orleans Saints because it was used for that reason? Those are some of the things, like, I want people to think deeper into that. Yes, it was used for that. Yeah, my mom got mad and whipped me with a fly swatter one day. Do that mean we get rid of fly swatters because it was used for unrighteous purposes? So it's a steak knife was used to murder some people. Steak knives used to cut steak, to cut sandwiches, and also murder people. Do we get rid of it because it was used for other reasons than it was designed for? Just a thought. I don't know. But when I see posts like this, then there's the free thinker in me is, I want to see the full picture. and not just the picture that is being presented to me. Because this picture, I'm sure it's true, but is it the whole picture? And another thing I will say before I jump off of this, I'm very cautious about allowing myself to be emotionally baited by posts or threads. That's something that I think everybody in social media, you need to practice and guard yourself from. Any type of persuasive text that are leading you to feel a certain type of emotion. Guard yourself. Be a free thinker. Be objective in your thought before you decide to get wound up. Okay, let's keep going. We still post. Let's see. Dallas, Texas TV. The global alcohol industry has lost $830 billion in market value over the past 4 years. Oh yeah, I did see this one. Let me see. The global alcohol industry has shed a combined $830 billion in market value over 4-year period, representing a 46% drop in from its June 21 peak, based on a Bloomberg tracking index, and roughly 50 major producers. Okay, so 2 things you keep in mind. Number one, what was going on June 2021? We were full-fledged pandemic mode. And I think as the doors started opening up and people got away from the pandemic, because it was recorded that sales went up real high when people were locked into their homes, couldn't get out, couldn't socialize, and also there's a lot of depression going on. A lot of people were depressed. A lot of people found out that their significant other was getting on their nerves. People had to homeschool. The kids was getting on their nerves. People were looking for a release, and they were looking for it in alcohol. And then when it opened back up, and it's not just that, it's a pendulum swing, if I'm saying that word right. It went to that extreme because there was extreme measures going on. But then, people, pandemic, you was drinking. A lot of people was drinking too much. A lot of people gained weight from all the alcohol. And when things open back up, and now you're not just behind closed doors, you're in the social settings, and the next time people see you, oh, Q, how you doing? Yeah, you didn't put on about 15, 20 pounds. Yeah, everybody looking a little thick, swollen, puffy. So again, I would bet at the same time that alcohol sales started to drop, then gym memberships probably went up. A lot of social gatherings went up because people are recorrecting now. We sat in the house, we drunk too much, we got a little puffy, fat, got a little unhealthy. Now, okay, let's focus on our health again. Now we have to be presentable in public. Now that you and your boo done broke up because y'all couldn't get along in the house, now you got to find a new boo. And now you got to get back in shape. Got to pull back on this alcohol some. And then, of course, the marijuana laws have changed things to where people are, do I need to drink this alcohol? Is alcohol doing this to my liver, and this is calories, is bloating, give me a belly? Weed don't do none of that. Weed ain't got no calories, as far as I'm concerned. The only calories weed got is from when you get the munchies, but you do got to watch out for that, though. You mess around and get the munchies, then the weed does not have direct calories, but there's calories associated with it if you are the type of person that get the munchies from it. So yeah. But yeah. And that's why even in Texas now they're pulling away. They're trying to pull away marijuana and certain things now because they want you to keep buying that alcohol. And to tell you the truth, I don't respect that. You're trying to, the alcohol people, producers, businesses are trying to enforce stricter laws, trying to pull back laws from marijuana just because you want people to fall back on alcohol more. I don't respect that. Part of me want to just stop drinking alcohol altogether if you want people, because listen, alcohol sales going up. There's nothing healthy about that. It can't be anything healthy about it. So capitalism at its finest. Oh, let me see. I got 10 minutes. Let me see what else I can get done. I'm going to do this more often. I really do. You know, I may try to do this 2 or 3 times a week because I like being on the thread, and this is easier for me than trying to type out a whole bunch of stuff. Just kind of getting my thoughts off. So you know what? I think with that being said, bring back 30 on the thread. I got to bring back 30 on thread. I think it's time now. Okay, Jules, put this on here. Jules, longtime free thinker. I'm trying to see. Oh, hold on. Okay, I don't even. How long is this? Let me see how long it is, and let me see if I can image file. Okay, so I'm gonna see. I'm still learning this share screen. Now, boom. Okay, because it switched over to Instagram now. I'm trying to see. Okay, so let's try this now. All right, what they talking about? Uh-oh.
I've dealt with private equity, I've dealt with cooling systems, I've dealt with wastewater management, and I've dealt with IT. We are in a speculative bubble right now. The reason why we need to build so many data centers yesterday is because there is a race to be early in the IPO before these companies and before the retail investors in America realize that there's no there. And we are ahead of our skis on calling large language models and machine learning AI before it is truly generative AI. And so when we look at how private equity firms are backing property developers to build data centers to then sell to Meta, Alphabet, Anthropic, OpenAI, xAI, what we're doing is we're selling our children's birthright and we're giving away the bathwater, the baby with the bathwater, instead of demanding guarantees that these companies will even be here in 10 years. I was in Shalersville. I'm in Perry twice a week. I see the anxiety in the communities. And when we see the narratives from the investment companies, it's always the same. Whether they're building 16 data centers or 6, there's always 200 jobs. Why? Because it's enough jobs to look beneficial, but not enough to break your school system.
Okay.
These are marketing approaches to get over a hurdle, to get tax abatements, zoning, and environmental so they can build it. And by the time there are trucks on site and raw materials in the flat and trade unions have their contracts verified, they will say, hey, that closed loop system, yeah, that's going to be too expensive. Now it needs to be open loop, but you can't stop it because we've already broke ground. By the time we see whether or not there are 200 jobs to even be had, and by the time we get to a point where we know whether or not there will be any taxes paid after the abatements expire, the people that sign the contracts won't even exist anymore in terms of corporations. We don't even know if this industry will exist. When there's a minute, can you just go like this? I'm looking right at you. And so.
Okay. I'll stop right there. He was spitting some knowledge, and see this, and this is the problem. I'm not even a dumb guy, but probably 60% of what he said was going over my head because I'm just not knowledgeable enough. But I did hear there's certain level of jobs. That's the front. The front part is we're going to bring jobs to this community in order to put these data centers here. And people be like, oh, well, it's bringing jobs to the community. Okay. How much is 200 jobs actually doing when you're talking about these huge data mining centers? So it's just, and then I don't even know if I'm qualified to go that far into a lot of what he was saying. But my whole thing is, why do they have to have these data centers so close to these neighborhoods? We have so much unused, untouched, untapped land in rural, scattered areas where there is a very, very minimal population. I'm just trying to find out why do they? And usually they often put them in certain communities of lower income neighborhoods because I heard it's not a healthy thing to have these data mining centers. But I don't know the answer to that. But I'm just saying, why do they have to put it in these areas. How come you trust me? I've driven across Texas. I had to take drives to El Paso and drives to Albuquerque, and there, I mean, Albuquerque is on the other side of in New Mexico, but you have to go through Texas to get there. It's a whole lot of nothing out there. People don't realize, excuse me, people don't realize how much of the U.S. is uninhabited. Not even just rural areas, even areas within your own city. You think everything is rural and concrete. This is something. I live in Austin, Texas. I encourage anyone because when you're going through streets, then all you see businesses, you see apartment complexes, you see housing communities, you see restaurants. Everything looks like it's metro when you're driving down the street. Do yourself a favor. Get on the metro rail. Get on the train, because the train kind of takes an unbeaten path when you're talking about going the railway. If you go from Leander all the way down to 3rd Street, go downtown, you will see there is huge areas of undeveloped land, even in your own city, that you had no idea how undeveloped it was. And that's in a metro city. Think about when you just go further out there, go to hill country. Like, I don't know. I may do some research on that. I don't know why they have to put these centers so close to populated areas. That's weird to me. It almost makes me feel like they have some additional agenda. Like, oh, let's see if we can make some people sick in the process of that. It's kind of weird to me. I don't know. Base free thinkers, because don't nobody give a F about black people or poor people. Well, yeah, that's true, of course. Who's gonna fight for their rights? Oh, yeah. Number one, but this is the thing, free thinker. Not just, I hope y'all can hear my baby over here having a fit in the background. But it's not just who's gonna fight for the rights. Who is knowledgeable and educated enough to speak to these things? And another thing, when you talk about fighting for rights, you have to rally a certain level of masses behind you in order to get support. So even when you're talking about these things, if the general masses are so uneducated about it, it's a high probability that they're not going to rally around you, because they don't even know what's going on. They're like, okay, what's the problem? It's tough. Okay, I got a few minutes. Dang, let me see. I'm going to see if I can run through 3 more topics really quickly, because I've already pushed past my limit that I said I was going to do. All right, let me get off this. What's that? Okay, now go back to share my screen. I have to go back to my Facebook. See, I'm learning right now. Okay, so yeah, that was interesting. So Nikki said we're super effed. We're writing our in. Oh yeah, we've been doing that for a while. Okay, hold on. Let me see what this guy is saying. I'm looking at the thing. It says the real reason your grandkids don't want to be around you. That's strange, considering he don't look like a grandfather, but let me find out what he's saying first.
Some money. They notice who gets guilt tripped for
Hold on. Let's go.
Grandkids don't want to fool with you because they watched how you treated their mama. They watched how you treated their dad. See, a lot of grandparents think them kids don't notice. They think children are too young to understand grown folks' business. But children may not understand every conversation. They understand patterns. They notice who always leave crying. They notice who get talked down to. They know who get called only when somebody needs some money. They notice who gets guilt tripped for having boundaries. They notice when somebody get disrespected today and acting like everything is cool tomorrow. If you can treat your own child like they disposable, what you think that teaches your grandkids about love?
All right, now I think he just took that opportunity to just make his own agenda. He really stretching right now. That's a pretty strong stretch. And the reason I say that is the real reason your grandkids don't want to be around you. Huh? Kids just don't want to be around old people. Even even nice ones and even the ones that they like. Kids ain't trying to be around old people like that. Unless they getting something from them or buying something from them. Most kids don't want to be. There's a large. The gap on everything is large. Like literally everything that you do, there's a gap. What the TV shows that you watch, the type of social media you consume, old people still watch the news, young people don't watch news like that. You don't typically eat the same foods, you don't hang out at the same places. You literally have nothing in common except for that. Thank you. The older person, what they have in common is that they were once them before. They was once that teenager or that younger person before, whether you're in your teens or 20s. The only thing that an older person has in common with them is that they were once them. So this is what I'm telling you. And then I want to do more, but I'm leave off on this because this is a learning lesson. Older people, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. If you want to connect with your children or your grandchildren, the way to go about that is shared experiences. Instead of telling them what they should do, what they need to do, what they ought to do, tell them about what you were doing when you were their age. Tell them about your relationships. Tell them about your failed relationships. Tell them about your divorce. Tell them about your abortions. Tell them about your fights. Tell them about the time you went to jail. Tell them about your drinking problem. Tell them about your drug problem. Tell them about your issues that you had with your parents when you were their age. That's how they will relate to you. The problem is we don't want to share, all of us. And it comes off as fake to the younger generation. Or it just comes off as unrelatable. Because it's like, oh yeah, you got everything buttoned up. Yeah, you got a house, you got a couple cars. You seem like anytime you need something, then you got it. You got, we don't know how much money you got. You got it stored away somewhere in a mattress and here and there, and you got a few bank accounts. And you seem like you got everything buttoned up. But we do not tell our young people about the struggle that we had to get to that point. So we come off as unrelatable. And it ain't even about young people, anybody. Race, gender, age, no matter what. If you are in a circle and you feel like that person, that people, that group cannot relate to you, you don't want to be a part of it. So that's your learning lesson from today. Make sure if you want to relate to you, I'm listening to what he's saying. I don't even know if I finished. It ain't got nothing to do with how they saw you treat your mama and all that. No, that ain't it. He reaching on that. He might have had an issue because he don't like the way his mama treated him or something like that. I don't know what that was. He just went a whole different direction on that. I'm not saying that's not a factor, but that is one of the least factors in why kids don't want to be around their grandparents or just older people in general. They can't relate to you. And the way that they can relate to you is we got to start sharing. And it's tough because our generation, my generation, a little bit more open. We started explaining my parents, they kept everything tight buttoned in. The closer they were, the closer you get to like slavery and Jim Crow, people just made it a habit of, yeah, we can't tell everybody our business. Perception was a big thing. If there was discrepancy, if there was somebody breaking the law, then we got to handle it in-house. We can't have these white people getting involved in this and then they're going to throw Uncle such and such in prison and this and that. Like, we don't want them involved so that everybody just stays silent. It's not a good thing. We got to work our way out of that, though. We got to start being more open and transparent. I didn't do terrible. I'm only 4 minutes past what I said I was going to do. So I'm going to close up now. If you have this was good. I enjoyed it. If you have any future topics that you want us to speak on or discuss and that you want to be a part of, make sure you let us know. Send comments, send DM. Just let us know. We line it up and we definitely will talk about it. Next week we'll be back in full effect. Nikki, you'll be in the house. Denise probably be around, and you're gonna be here. Whoever you are, be a part of the conversation. It seems a little intimidating when you first start, but man, when people get in, then they love it. And you don't realize this, but your soul needs that conversation. And golly, all right, Q got to stop. Social media is like eating a bunch of junk food. It's like the junk food of communication. You are communicating, you are responding, you are giving thoughts and opinions, but there's a lack of authenticity to it. Social media is pumped up with pesticides and hormones, but it ain't that good, healthy cooking. Having real conversations, discussions, debates with real people without the fluff, without the agenda. That's what your soul from a communication standpoint really needs. And that's what you'll get with us. All right. I'm about to keep running. I'm start preaching in a second. So I'm gonna get out of here until next week. Go on.